Hey guys, and welcome back to Super Mario Galaxy. The evil Beyblade has been defeated.
Hooray.
Let's see, what was that boss? That was the boss that I forgot about because it went down in 2 seconds.
Not the hardest boss in the universe. So let's fight him again, but this time put an artificial handicap on ourselves. This is the kind of thing you hear about on like V and shit, artificial difficulty.
Although, to be honest, you already beat Top Maniac without getting hit, so...
Well, there's artificial pressure here now, so...
Yeah, it's funny. You know, I don't think I ever got hit during my first Bouldergeist run, but he sure beat me a lot of times when I was actually going for the Daredevil run.
Yeah, it's just the pressure of the whole thing, because you go in being all cocky and then you just get sniped by a rock or some shit.
Yeah. And honestly, the biggest enemy for the Daredevil run with Top Maniac is the barrier around you, which adds more pressure, because you don't want to touch that thing at all. You know, I find Top Maniac very easy to hit. You really don't have to worry about the Beyblades and the spinning saw that envelops him. Yeah, pressure more than anything will make you flub up, but even then, it's still a pretty easy boss fight.
It came, it went, and that's about it all it did.
It's about as significant as indigestion. And Tom just gave you the proper cure.
Or, you know, the Beyblade sequel series.
Ah, you see, I don't get that much because I never really watched Beyblades.
Well, I'll tell you this now. The team in that actually won a fucking tournament.
Yeah, you just watched the show with the card game that ruled the world.
Yeah, because, yeah. Anyway, what do we got going on here? What's next? Hurry Scurry, a very short galaxy. Very, very tiny. Oh, well, it is a mini-game galaxy, so...
Pretty much, you just have to hurry and or scurry over the disappearing platforms, make them all disappear, collecting notes along the way, and boom, you get access to a star.
Yeah. One thing you'll want to actually keep in mind when you're playing these shrinking platform areas is that the edges of the platform, as they shrink, aren't actually pits until the platform disappears completely.
And if you use the Co-Star feature, which is in this game, yes it is, even though they don't really advertise as much as Galaxy 2 does, player 2 can hold onto the platforms to keep them from shrinking, giving you a little extra time.
So, if you're a gigantic casual, get one of your loved ones to help you play through the game.
Or, you know, if you're a child.
No, I think a child could very easily do this. Don't forget, we were playing stuff like Super Mario Bros. 3 and World when we were kids.
Yeah, but that was 1989. This is 2000. So.
Yeah, that was 1989 when games were designed to actively kill kids.
1989, I was 1 then. I didn't mean that little.
Oh. Well, actually, I was a little wrong. I was a year ahead. 88 is when Mario 3 came out.
The only game I was playing when I was 1 was Don't Shit Yourself. Only, well, roughly just under 100 to go now.
Yeah, you don't really I think I can compliment Galaxy in the sense where I don't really feel like I only have like 80 stars to go. I just keep playing it because it's, you know, I'm having a good time from beginning to end. It's not like Sunshine where, well, besides the process in itself of getting 120 Shine Sprites is arduous, but you really feel it in Sunshine. In Galaxy, you don't, which I think is a sign of good design.
I've been mulling this over, but my plan for the game was originally to be to split the stars right down the middle, like how Mario gets 60, Luigi get the other 60. But the problem there is, I may have ended up forgetting which stars I got with Mario and had to scour footage. So I then came up with the plan to get 105 stars with Mario, and that's, I think, the most you can possibly get, like when you go to fight Bowser for the final time, and the final 15 are all purple coin stuff, which I can leave to Luigi, so I may end up going with that. But that's a story for down the line. What did you guys think of this particular star, Lewis?
I am not a fan of the tilt controls for the ball, but it is at least a little more manageable for me than the other gimmick stages. Like, last time I played this, I kind of took something Johnny tried in his review, where he sort of put the thing on his hand, the remote on his hand, and worked it like an analog stick. Except instead of pressing down on the wire for the nunchuck, I just sort of wrapped my fingers around it.
This gimmick broke my nunchuck.
Yeah, you know what I hate, though? They're doing that thing again, where you obviously can't point at the screen, but there are star bits falling everywhere.
Motherfuckers.
I think that was on purpose, though. To really mess with you.
There are times during these ball levels where you can point at the screen, but you have to lock the ball down so that it can't roll before you do it. And there are so few places that you can do that in these levels. I think, actually, they only appear in the second ball level.
Yeah, one of the Green Trial Galaxy rolling ball level does that a lot, because there's a lot of automated sections in that level, but still, this gimmick, I don't need it, I don't like it, because I'm not a fan of just having a level where it's nothing but motion controls, unless it's really responsive. Like, I don't mind the manta ray level so much, but the ball, and it broke my nunchuck, and I'll never forgive that.
Well, first of all, that was your fault, Johnny, so don't blame the game for that.
I'm just trying to have a nice workaround to something that I don't like.
Fair enough, mate. I like it. I prefer the manta ray stuff just because the manta ray is more fun overall, but yeah, it's serviceable. What do you think, Ryan?
I like it more than the manta ray, actually. It's because I played a lot of arcade games growing up, so I'm kind of used to the joystick control. So it didn't bother me too much. It was just kind of the lack of, edges to it, because the Wii remote is just standing there.
No, what we needed was another peripheral. The Wii trackball. Specifically built for the rolling... I'm getting Sega Dreamcast fishing rod up in this son of a bitch. That would have made the level a lot more tolerable.
I want to play Mario Galaxy with a Guitar Hero controller. Make it work.
I'm sure there's a mod for that.
I want sick riffs when I'm flying through like Battle Rock, alright?
Give it 10 years.
Welcome to Starbit Grinding Galaxy.
Yes. Wholeheartedly agree. This is it. This is the place where you need those star bits to free those late game hungry Lumas. This is where you constantly go to grind the star bits. And keep in mind, every 50 star bits get you an extra life. So not only will you be getting like 5,000 star bits, you'll be leaving with like 75 extra Marios.
Yeah, it's a sick and perverse cycle of life and death and life, star bits and hungry Lumas.
This is it. This is what you see before you die.
Spider webs? Okay, sure.
Slingpots, my friend, hence the name of the galaxy. And might I just add, if you're even off by like a millimeter, you will go flying into that black hole, and there is nothing you can do to save yourself. And
I think you can just save if you just barely nudge a sling pod. I think a spin will save you. I think.
I think so, because that widens your own hitbox for a second. But
Hey, meanwhile, Tom, what are you doing? It's a sling pod, man. You're supposed to be grabbing all those little silver morsels.
I want to ask a logic question about a Mario game, because that kind of stupid shit is apparently what I'm known for. Where's the oxygen that's feeding these fires?
Where's the oxygen keeping Mario alive?
He's a video game character, it doesn't matter.
Well, this is video game fire.
He has to breathe in this game.
Yeah, true. He has an air meter in underwater.
Yeah, only for some reason, water is the only thing that cuts off his oxygen. The vacuum of space is just fine, though.
Well, space is the lack of something. Water is certainly there. Right?
Space is the lack of air.
The space is the lack of anything, period. That's why it's called space. I'm not hearing a rebuttal.
To dictionary.com.
That's right, you can't. I think what we're trying to say here is that it's a video game. And none of that shit really matters in a video game. In Mario, specifically. Anyway, so Tom's done there. I believe now we are heading to the final galaxy of this place. Yes, that's Tom. We all know you're done, baby. Bowser Star Reactor. Now this is where we're introduced to Galaxy's Bowser fights.
Cooper Road, how I missed thee.
Yeah, 2007. I've completed Super Mario 64, I think maybe a total of 3 times, and only 2 of those were 100% runs. But I did have a sense of nostalgia when I heard Koopa's Road brought back for Galaxy.
It's the best Bowser level theme.
Would you say it's the Bowser level theme?
Well, they certainly like to bring back the airship theme a lot, but in my opinion, it's the best one.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, but more than that, though, I just think the Bowser levels in Galaxy 1 are a bit more interesting than the ones in Galaxy 2. Like, if there's one thing that I prefer in Galaxy 1 gameplay-wise to Galaxy 2, it's that the Bowser levels in particular seem to be a bit more epic, whereas I'm not sure what it is about the ones in Galaxy 2, but they don't really strike me as foreboding at all. They just seem pretty standard to me.
Yeah, I think... Let me see. Galaxy 2 Bowser levels didn't really take advantage of the anti-gravity concept as much as Galaxy 1 Bowser levels did. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are anti-gravity elements of Bowser levels in Galaxy 2. Galaxy 1, I believe, emphasized it more.
Which may or may not be a good thing depending on what you like about it.
It really depends on if you like that sort of thing. Absolutely agree. And just as a little safety tip here, because Tom did it earlier too, is like you notice that when Tom did a backflip jump off of that thwomp in the beginning of the level, don't jump off of that thwomp when it's all the way up there. You will run right into that black hole, killing you.
I did that by accident. Also, why is Bowser spitting giant flaming rocks at us? I mean, that has to hurt coming up.
Yeah, Dracula can do it, Bowser can do it.
Well, Bowser's always been able to shoot fireballs, but not flaming rock balls.
Oh, thank God I made it out of that black hole.
Tom, what happened? So you jumped on top of the thwomp. I told you not to do that.
Oh, well, you know, I told you, just a millimeter off, firing yourself at another sling pod, and you'll fire yourself into a black hole. But thankfully, I made it back for the fight itself. This one, not too bad, not too bad. You just got to fake Bowser out and make him smash into these little glass panels here, and like a dumbass, he'll fall for it every single time. It never fails.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's technically, like, from a difficulty standpoint, not really any better than Mario 64's repeated Bowser bosses, but at the same time, this particular type of boss is a lot more fun for me.
I have to say, I've never been a fan of the Bowser fights in the 3D Mario games. They like do the same thing, add like one extra gimmick on, and that's about it. I prefer different Bowser bosses each time, honestly.
I mean, Bowser battles have always been like that, though. This is just keeping up with tradition. You know, Mario 1, even though they were fake Bowsers, of course, the only thing that ever changed was like, oh, this Bowser now throws hammers. Or, hey, this Bowser has a Podoboo next to him. You know, fundamentally it's the same thing, and I think that's always been a thing with Bowser battles. It was the other bosses that you looked forward to.
Yeah, I suppose my criticism, rather than, you know, just fighting Bowser fundamentally at the same time, like 3 times, is that the bosses just don't hold my interest that much. The music and setting are great, don't get me wrong. Everything else is the problem.
Well, and the problem is that you do it 3 times, so what would be an interesting boss fight becomes kind of repetitive. Doesn't really do enough to distinguish itself.
I can forgive it slightly, because it is Mario. It doesn't have anything to prove.
Well, I look back at it a bit retroactively because we've had 3D Land and 3D World now, which had a bit more interesting Bowser fights at the end.
I will say 3D Land had a really good final boss. 3D Worlds kind of shit the bed with a really awful camera system.
More so in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no problem in single player.
You know, I criticized this game, and this will probably make me seem like a bit wishy-washy considering I just criticised the whole thing, but I do enjoy the final boss, even if it is the same thing with a bit tacked on to the end. It's just like the first 2 fights with Bowser, kind of too sameish for my liking.
No, I think it's the music in your case. You like the music.
Stop. You make me blush over it.
Yeah, I'm making you blush, you hypocritical bastard.
Thank you.
The final boss themes in both Galaxy games are really pumped up, epic.
The second one has no right to be that epic for what it's conveying. That fight is over in 2 seconds. Fucking hell, is you ever gonna come out and fight me? What's going on here?
We've unlocked a new galaxy.
We've unlocked a bunch of them. Nothing warms the cockles of my heart more than when you open up a bunch of new galaxies all at the same time, as if the game is telling you, shit, slow the fuck down. Oh, that's all the time we have for today, guys. We'll see you next time for more Super Mario Galaxy. Bye-bye for now.